Hello guys, how's it going? So, we've got an amazing car in today in the bay to detail. As you can see behind me, it is green. So, I'm going to give you a show round on it and tell me what you think because it is absolutely stunning. Isn't it incredible? I'm actually a bit speechless about it. It's just a stunning car. It's owned by James. I tag his Instagram, Outlaw Races. Absolutely beautiful build. Pretty much every show it goes to, it wins something because the level of detail on it is just insane. So today we'll be detailing this, well, for a few days. So yeah, I'll show you what we're going to be working on and get it ready for a show in Belgium. So for any of you asking, what is it? It is a Porsche 356. When it airs out, this thing is low and it just looks stunning. I just can't stop looking at it. It's such a beautiful car. So you might be asking, why are we detailing this? Because it's already pretty good, but in closer inspection, you can see there's a few swirl marks here and there. And obviously it's a show car, so it's got to be absolutely perfect. As you can see on the camera, a few little scratches and swirls, nothing too major. The dishes need polishing up, as you can see. They're all going to be coming off and then polished, as well as any metal work in the engine bay we'll be polishing, including the alley. Then we come to the interior, where we are going to be polishing all the metal in there. There's going to be hours spent in that interior polishing. It's all going to be good content, and the after result is going to be absolutely amazing. We come into the front, again, polish the tank because that is painted, and polish the alley work. So yeah, first thing we're going to be doing is lifting her up on the lift and then clay barring the paint before we get the polisher on it. Only with a very, very light clay bar because it doesn't need a lot. It's not heavily contaminated with tar, but it's always better safe than sorry. And then we get the polisher on it. So let's get her up in the air and start clay barring her. Right, so we have a clay bar and we are literally just going to spritz a little bit of lubricant on the paint just so the clay bar can glide, never go in dry. It's all we're going to do, a little bit of pressure, and you can feel down there's a slight bit of, there you go, even though she looks clean, see that on the clay bar. So we're now going to fold that clay bar over to get a nice fresh clean side, and we're going to do the same. And we're just going to do this on every single panel until we know there's no contamination on the paint. So even though a car looks absolutely clean, if it's been on the road even once, you can pick up anything, so it's always worth just clay barring your car. As again, you can see a bit of contamination on there. So yeah, let's go around on the whole car doing that, and then she's ready for polishing after we've taped up any vulnerable bits. So now we've clay barred all the paintwork, and we're now going to have a look around with the inspection light to see what we're dealing with. I can see there is quite a few swells here and there, which isn't going to be an issue. They're only very, very light. So let's have a look around now and then tape it all up and start polishing. Hopefully you can see this on the camera, but as you can see there's a few swells in there, a few marring marks. So obviously we need to rectify all of them. There you go, see all those swirl marks. Obviously some of the marring would have been caused via the clay barring, but some of them were there before. Plus now that any waxes are removed, they have now appeared, because waxes can hide certain swirl marks if they're very light. Because some waxes have fillers in them. We don't use any products with fillers. But as you can see, needs some polishing. But she's going to look amazing once she's done. And we're now going to tape up any vulnerable bits. And when I say any vulnerable bits, I mean any rubbers, basically anything we don't want the polisher to touch, because anything like that, if we stain that rubber, one, it'd be a pain to get it off, and it's just easier to tape it up, and we don't want to ruin anything that could, like, imagine trying to find that, for instance. So yeah, let's tape her up and then start polishing. So there you go, she's pretty much all taped up now. So again, the main reason for this is to stop your polisher catching any rubbers, and then it can stain the rubber, or even it can damage your polishing pad, which you don't want to keep doing, because otherwise you'll go through them like there's no tomorrow. So even like little rubbers around the handles, on the mirrors, on the wipers, and yeah, all the window rubbers, even around the lights here, all taped up. So that's all protected, your pad's not going to get ruined, and you're not going to stain any rubbers. So yeah, so now that's all done, we can start polishing. Right, so before we actually start polishing, we are going to have a look at the paint. So there's hardly anything in there, if I'm honest. There's a few, like, you probably can't make it out on the camera, there's a few very light scratches, a few little minor swirl marks. So I'm going to go in with a medium pad and then just a polish and see how it comes out. So we're going to pick 5 little blobs, pea-sized blobs on the pad, a little spritz just to moist the pad up, work it in, and then we want to go at about 2 inches a second. Stop the pad on the car so you don't flick polish everywhere. Then we're going to get a buffing cloth. Just buff it. And then we're going to get an inspection light and just have a little look. As you can see, the metallic in this paint is absolutely lovely. So there's a tiny bit there that I'm going to go over again. But other than that, that pad and that polish combo is doing a lovely job. So we're going to use that on the rest of the car. There's a little scratch here which I'm going to try and get out. That might need a bit of a compound. But yeah, right, so let's do the rest of the car. So as you can see, right here is some swirling. So we're going to tackle that area and get that all nice and polished up. So as we can now see, look at that panel, absolutely gleaming, not a swollen sight compared to that panel, which has got loads of sand marks in it and it's quite swirly. So that to that, happy days. So there we have it, she is now fully polished. Just look at how that paint is now popping. So we're now going to take all the tape off and then prep her ready for a ceramic coating, which is going to make her pop even more. Look at that paint. We'll just get a little absolutely beautiful paint job. So yeah, let's start taking all the tape off and then we can start prepping her for ceramic coating. So I'm not going to bore you on how to prep a car for a coating. Basically, I'll give you a rundown, is go over with some ISO alcohol, and then once we've done that, we go over again with Geon Prep. So the surface is completely free, clean of any polish residue, oils, etc. So I'm going to go over now, just spray that all over, and then once that's done, and we wait about 10 minutes just so it dies down, and then we can start coating. So I'll skip to that bit.
So these are the two coatings that we're going to be applying to her. The first one is base type 1, which is an infinite coating by Geon, and then we're going to top it with the top coat that Geon do. Combine these two together and we'll get super gloss and super durability and absolutely amazing hydrophobicness, basically beading. So let's get this on. So let's get, first of all, the applicator prepped. Make sure it's got no bits on it. Let's get that all prepped up. Don't need to do this many drips every time, it's just literally to prime the pad, I should say. So, start from here. And then when we start to see it bead or sweat, we then wipe it off, which you can see it doing now. Now we're going to do that to the whole car with base type 1, and then once we've done the whole car with base type 1, we will then do the top coat. She is now coated, both coatings on. Just look at her. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we're back at it. We'll be doing all the metal work, polishing all the alley, engine bay, seats, any chrome bits will be polished up, and then we'll also coat that with a metal coating. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. See you guys in the morning. Good morning guys, we're back on the Outlaw. So today we are working on all the metal work. We did a late one last night, worked till 11 PM to get all the paintwork done, because I basically wanted to dedicate today just to the metal work, because there's a lot of chrome, a lot of metal to polish. I'll show you around on all the metal and see, well, you'll see how much work there is. So for instance, we've got all these metal seats, absolutely beautiful, but obviously we need to polish them all up. Then we've got the centre tunnel, where we need to polish up. Even around on the sides there is metal. We've obviously got the steering wheel. We've got some chrome bits out here. We've got handles. We've got mirrors. We've got wipers. We've got surrounding on the lights. Then we come into the engine bay and we have all this alley to polish up. We've got some metal there to polish up.
So yeah, there's a lot of metal. We've got them up there to polish, and then we come round to the front. Got the headlight surroundings to polish, got the wheels to polish, and we've got the wheel nuts to polish. So it's going to be a long day, long tedious day, but it's going to be worth it, and she's going to look absolutely amazing. But we come over here and you see this looks pretty shiny, but that's the after result of the full polish. Absolutely amazing. As you can see in here, it's a little bit dull, but we've brought that up to an absolutely amazing shine. So now I've got to do it to that one. So we've got James himself down helping. He's polishing the interior now. Once this interior is back together with those seats, it is going to look insane in here. I can't wait to see it all back together. It's coming along really nicely. Along there is now polished, and along here is nearly polished. Then we just have to do that. You can see how dull that looks compared to over there. So let's crack on, get this side done. Plus we've taken the wheel off, polished that all up, which is now looking lovely. These are now coated with Geon rim, which you can use on metal. So that'll keep them looking shiny, and that'll make them a lot easier to clean in the future. So there you have it. The interior is fully polished. Look at those seats now. Look at that center console. James helped out massively with this today. Just look at it. Absolutely gleaming. So now next we've just got to do the wheels, and then a little bit in the engine bay, and then she's pretty much done. So these are the wheels that we're going to be working on. Absolutely stunning wheels, one of a kind wheel, fully custom built. So as you can see, we just need to polish up these lips and polish the centre caps, which James is now doing. So I'm going to start on the lips and get these babies shiny again. Now would you look at those wheels, they are now polished to perfection and ceramic coated with Geon rim. They look absolutely amazing. Such a beautiful wheel. We've also finished polishing in the engine bay. Polished all this alley up here, all down there, and that engine bay is now looking stunning.
So she's finally done and she looks amazing. Let's show you around.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging on myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like, oh yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you...
I just mean, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, it's probably one of my favourite, if not my favourite cars I've detailed so far, just because it's proper up my street, highly modified, and it's just beautiful. I've enjoyed detailing it so much. I can't thank James enough for letting me detail it. And make sure you go see him at shows, because it's amazing. So I really, really hope you've enjoyed this video of me detailing this amazing car. And I will see you in the next video.